Sometimes there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing things the old way. I'm saying this in regards to many arguments I've gotten with Sonic fanboys saying that they dislike a certain plumber because of his classic oldest time plot of saving the princess and beating the bad guys. Said Sonic fanboys believe it's better to have a drawn out story with character development, and that just isn't true. For a story to be good, you don't need anything too spectacular, which has been proven many times in media. Take for example something like, well, Mario and Sonic. For years, Mario has been doing the same shtick, and generally speaking, has more of a cult following than that of the Blue Blur. Now this isn't hate towards Sonic. I actually love his games, but adding something that doesn't need to be there takes away from the simplicity of what people generally understand. Let me go into more detail. The first couple Sonic games and Sonic Colors all shared one thing. They were all about beating the bad guy for the better of the place where they live. Those were all considered great games, and I can agree. It didn't start going downhill until they started trying to add different story elements like opposites and time travel. Mario has done the same thing, and so he's not safe either. However, once the story was simplified to Mario has to beat the bad guy, there, generally speaking, were no issues. I read an article that stated less is more. It's a basic rule of good storytelling. Another good quote is not taking yourself too seriously. If I can go by one more quote, storytelling isn't an Escher staircase. Too many extra details can be considered confusing. You could say adding details makes character development easier, but sometimes you don't need extra character development. Or rather, extra character isn't needed for most things. That's not to say it doesn't work, because sometimes you get things like Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated or Scooby-Doo and the Zombie Island, which gave the gang some character, which was indeed well needed and a really good show and movie. Then they did Be Cool Scooby-Doo, which was a tad bit too simple, but I can honestly say it was a funny show. In the case of Be Cool Scooby-Doo, that show didn't get hate because of how it is, but rather the aesthetics, which I could agree and say they aren't up to par, but that goes into the whole, would people prefer a show that looks good rather than a show with good storytelling, which is a completely separate video. I'm not a master of storytelling, so what I said could go over many people's heads, and that's perfectly fine. We all have our own opinions. If you prefer detailed stories, then by all means, but what you cannot say is doing things the old way is boring. Which honestly, doing things the old way probably adds a bit more character than actually trying to add character. I said character way too much in this video. Whatever.